So if you're into EDC or everyday carry like I am, you probably always like to be prepared. And that means you've got tools and gears in your pockets, you've got kits in your bag, stuff in your car, and all that sort of thing. But what happens when your options are limited and you have to pare everything down to one bag that has to pass through security? That's what this video is going to be all about, so hang out for a minute and we'll break things down. What's up guys, Eric here with At Home in the Future, and you may have seen some of my other EDC videos. I'm all about carrying the perfect stuff in my pockets, having some really cool kits that stay in my work bag, that I throw in the car. That is a lifestyle and hobby of mine. I just always like to be prepared and have exactly what I need when I need it. So this video is kind of having a different twist on the same idea, and that's having everything you need always with you, but this time in kind of a one bag travel friendly EDC optimized but TSA friendly bag that you can take with you wherever you go. When you fly, when you travel. It's something I had a lot of fun figuring out over the past few months, and I think you're going to dig it as well. So in this video I'm going to cover like the luggage and bags you should use, the type of clothes you want to take, and of course the gear you want to have with you everywhere you go. So let's kick things off and jump right in with the travel bag I found that I like the most. So after a ton of research, my absolute bag of choice is this Topo Designs 30-liter travel bag. Really digging this thing. Got this in Huckberry. They have a bunch of different colorways and everything. And I think you can also find like a 40-liter version and a few other different takes on this bag. But there's a lot to like here. And one of the things I like the most about it is it isn't your traditional overthought, really bland travel bag. To me, it's still got a little bit of style, a little bit of character and everything. I really dig the profile on it. We'll get more of a zoomed out view for you to check out in this video too. But it has all the traditional features you look for and some really travel-minded things as well. So let's do a really quick overview. The first thing you'll notice is just really strong, nice materials, lots of Cordura fabric, double stitching all over the place. Instead of MOLLE on the front, you have these little loops, which you'll see I have a Hero clip on. We'll talk more about that in a second. Really nice, really big YKK zippers. They also actually lock. So if you wanted to, I'm just unzipping this compartment here, but you'll see this elastic tab. You can actually slide this down through there and have kind of a security thing where somebody can't really quick get in your bag. Just a nice little touch with a very low technology. You have water bottle pockets on the side, you have carry handles on the side. We'll flip it over to the back here. And by the way, this is loaded out to the gills, just like I got home from my trip. I took us on a trip just 2 days ago and kind of kept it packed so we can dissect it together and see what's in this thing. Nice straps. Again, you got some lash down points. It's got a sternum strap on there. You can take this off if you don't want it. You can actually stow these straps here at the top if you want to carry it more like a briefcase. There's even lash points, and there's a handle here on the top as well. There's lash points if you want to attach any of their other bags to it. Another handle here, but all in all, a really comfortable, really cool looking bag, and the profile of this thing makes it perfect for sliding under an airline seat. So if you can throw it, of course, in the overhead bin if you want, but I like being able to just slide stuff down at my feet and be able to get easy access to it during the flight. So really cool. So we're going to go through each of these individual pockets. I figured first we start with the main compartment here, and one thing you'll notice right off the bat with this thing that makes it super travel friendly is it opens wide open like a clamshell here. So I'll kind of pan it across camera. You can see two really big mesh pockets up here. We'll go through those in just a minute because I know you already have questions just seeing that. But yeah, this is the main compartment here, which is really easy just to grab your stuff in and throw it in and load it up. Really, really dig that aspect of the design. So let's go through a few things here. Like I mentioned, you can just throw everything right in here. You'll notice it's very clean and easy to pack. And the main thing that makes it that way, I'm going to move this jacket over to the side. We'll talk about that here in a second. These packing cubes from Peak Design are the bee's knees. If you buy anything in this video, this is the thing I go for first. They got all different sizes of these on Huckberry. And you know, packing cubes I feel like are a dime a dozen out there, but these are one of the most well-engineered, well-designed pieces of kit that I've ever really come across. It starts with just the fabric on the outside of these, this really slick but also kind of soft material, water resistant. The zippers are as well. But what I like the most about these, here I'm going to move these flip-flops out of the way. By the way, I'm not really going to recommend a specific brand of flip-flops. These are just cheapies. Good to have in your bag for the hotel. But these things open up like a clamshell. Again, you just grab the zipper tab up here, they got these zippers here, and just whoop, the thing goes wide open. And you can fit a ton of stuff in these for a variety of reasons. Now you notice all my clothes in here, and I'll go through clothes and stuff I recommend here in a second. When you go to pack your stuff, here I'm going to zip these back up real quick so I can show you this. There is compression built into these where you can expand them as wide as you want, but also compress them quite a bit. So you'll see another zipper here on the side of these. If I just roll this out the whole way through, you'll see I get this full width compression compartment with a little bit of mesh right there. You can kind of see through that. So you may need that if you're packing an absolute ton of clothes. Really, I was just packing for 2 or 3 days on this trip. But the nice thing is you can use those to, when you're loading your stuff inside of here, you can get everything kind of packed in as well as you like, and then get that extra layer of compression and space saving just by going back and grabbing the zipper and zipping this back up. Again, very smooth zippers, nothing but high quality stuff on these. Really, really nice. So dig that feature. And then probably my stealth favorite feature is on the back of these. By the way, they have a spot here where you can hang these up as well. On the back, you'll see this other zipper. And on the flip side of the cube, you have this kind of hidden dirty laundry compartment. So you can see I've got stuff there from the trip. So as you go throughout your days, you can stuff your dirty clothes back here in the back, zip that up, and keep that stuff separate from all your clean stuff you have in the interior. So really, really nice. You can see this bag fits 2 of these just about perfect. This is the large size, and this is the small size, both from Peak Design. Very, very cool products. Can't brag more about those. Really love those. So we'll open this one up here in a second, but I want to spend some time on the stuff that I actually bring to wear on a trip like this, because this is something I've really honed in on over the last few months. I'm really excited about because it's made all the difference on my trips. So we'll kind of work our way from bottom to top, and I'll start with something that's actually not packed in the bag at all, but something I wear just for the whole trip, and that is these On Cloud Ultras. Man, if you haven't tried a pair of Ons, I can't get enough of these, but these are particularly awesome for travel. They are super, super well reinforced here in the bottom. You got lots and lots of cushions. So if you're spending lots of days at theme parks or walking around cities like I typically do, they're fantastic for that. I really love this colorway because you got black and white, just really simple. These work really well for, obviously, for a casual setting. But I've worn these in on some kind of business casual things where they match just about anything. So I really dig this colorway. And this particular style, they have this little tab at the bottom where you can switch this thing over and get a little extra room for your feet as you walk a whole bunch and your feet kind of swell during the day. It's a really simple way to cinch those laces up and down. So awesome pair of shoes. Can't recommend these enough. And these are the only pair of shoes I've been bringing lately. So I'll wear these and wear them for the duration of the trip. Super comfortable, very breathable. Like I said, super flexible for a lot of different situations. So definitely something I recommend there. As far as like pants and stuff goes, I know everybody has their own style and own opinion on stuff. Lately, you can see these rolled up here, but I've got a pair of Vuori's Meta Pants. And what these are, here's another pair here sitting beside me, but just your traditional kind of khaki looking 5-pocket style pants. Don't look like anything special, which is actually what makes them so great, but they are super lightweight, very wrinkle resistant, water resistant. They have a little secured zipper pocket here in the back, but also the material, if you can tell here, is very stretchy, very comfortable, and I've just really enjoyed these. Again, when you're thinking travel, you want stuff that's really flexible that you can wear in a ton of different scenarios. So I've worn these for work things, wear these hanging out, walking around the city, and this is actually what I typically wear onto the plane just because they're comfortable. Vuori Meta Pants are awesome, worth adding to your collection. But probably the number one thing that I've become a fan of in travel here recently is as much merino wool stuff as I can pack. And this is a line of merino wool stuff that I found at Huckberry from Proof. So this is their polo shirt right here that I just happen to have still left over from this last trip. Man, but if you haven't switched over to merino wool for your travel stuff, you are totally missing out. Very lightweight, very comfortable, temperature regulating, so it kind of keeps you warm. If you're getting a little chilly, it can cool you down a little bit, and moisture wicking if you're sweating or getting hot. But the big thing is, really easy to care for, really easy to do hotel sink laundry, and it doesn't hold on to smell. So if you're trying to get multiple days of wear out of different shirts and everything, this is exactly what you want. You can wear this next to somebody eating fajitas at the restaurant and still get another day or two out of it. Totally awesome. Comes in several different styles. So I've got this polo, I've got a t-shirt, I've got a Henley, got a long sleeve shirt, just super awesome stuff. You saw how easy that was to roll up and pack into this along with everything else. So super big fan of those. The other thing you saw right as we opened this bag was actually my jacket. And you saw me, I kind of had it stuffed in here just because it packs down so small, just sitting on top of this. But this is an ultralight, I think they call it a moonlight jacket. Proof makes this, they've got these at Huckberry. And again, you can see how tiny this thing is. I mean, it has to weigh just maybe 2 or 3 ounces. But it's actually infused with graphene. So this thing will keep you warm, It to me kind of doubles as a rain jacket, and I'm not going to walk out in downpours or anything like that, but most of the time when I'm traveling, I'm not going on like a hiking trip. The water just beads and runs off this thing. Keeps you just warm enough, keeps sun off you a little bit. But even if you wouldn't normally take a jacket, this thing is so light, it makes all the difference just being able to throw this in and at least have it on the plane, which again, I typically get cold up in the air. If you want something a little bit warmer, they also have this puff shirt jacket. You can see the size isn't quite as compressed. It will definitely squish down some, but not as much, but still very, very light. But this thing looks more like your traditional kind of puffer Patagonia style jacket. Looks really classy, has a nice kind of non-technical look to it, which I really dig, and buttons and everything, but awesome stuff from Proof. Again, you can find those at Huckberry. Some of the best travel jackets I've found, but I'm a really, really big fan of those. So as far as clothing options go, I feel like those are choices that you can't go wrong with. One more thing too is if you wear belts at all, the Groove belt is totally awesome. It's got a little bit of stretch to it. It's very easy to resize, but again, in my airport pants when I'm going on, especially if you're going through TSA and stuff, easy to slap on and off and get in and out and where you need to go, and easy to roll up. Useful for a ton of different scenarios. So Groove belt, definitely recommend checking those out. So that cube typically contains all my clothes. If I'm going on different trips, I may have other stuff with me. This cube here is more like toiletries and just kind of smaller stuff I may need throughout the trip, chargers and that sort of thing. Again, watch how easy these packing cubes open. Whoop. Really easy to get to your stuff. So this is a toiletry bag from Peak Design. We'll go through that here in just a second. But first I want to go through a few of the gadgets here that I always take with me. So there's not a lot of stuff in here, but the stuff in here is actually pretty intentional and very useful. The first is this 3-in-1 charger. I actually just grabbed this off Amazon, and this thing is totally awesome for the hotel. I don't know if you're like me, you probably have a nightstand full of chargers and cables and stuff, and whenever you go on a trip, it's like, well crap, I got to get behind here, unplug everything, and try to bring 6 different cables for stuff. But this little thing is very handy, very lightweight. You just plug it in with any USB-C cable. I've got this little charger here. But what I dig about this, you can get your Apple Watch on here, you can get your AirPods, and you can get your phone with, even with MagSafe, all in this. One power cable, very easy to use. If you want to be extra fancy, you can switch this up and do like this triangle thing for your phone, and you can still get your watch charging on there at the same time. So very cool, inexpensive little product, something total game changer if you travel a lot. So yeah, really, really dig this thing, easy to stow away. Like I said, I got the charger for that. I've got a strap for this I'll talk about here in a second. A lot of places these days, is depending, especially in West Coast of the United States, no straws, and it's hard to get silverware sometimes, or you forget to get silverware. So a little titanium spork, a little cleanable straw. Again, these are super lightweight, so I just keep these tucked away. Don't use them all the time, but when you need them, they're there. One of my favorite little things, which I use quite a bit, especially if you're doing one bag travel, you're taking this big backpack with you, but you may not want to take it with you everywhere as you get to the hotel and go out to explore the city or in a theme park. Having a secondary bag is absolutely awesome, and Matador, as far as I'm concerned, makes the absolute best version of this. So this is a little 16-liter packable day pack, made of really good materials. I think it's actually waterproof, or water resistant at least. All the seams are sealed on it, which makes it really great. Hard to tell here because it's been all wadded up, but it's got a water bottle bag on each side. It's got all these lash points if you want to attach stuff to it. It's got a big pocket here in the front, and has a nice big cavernous pocket for the main compartment there, so you can just open that up, fit all sorts of stuff in it. This is my go-to theme park backpack, use it all the time. Again, probably just a couple ounces on its own. Throw your sunscreen in there, throw a charger in there. The straps, this nice mesh, so you don't sweat through that. And I mentioned this other little strap in here earlier. That's a sternum strap for this if you want to attach it to it. But really, really great piece of kit. Definitely pick one of these up. Worth having all the time, anywhere you go. So that is what lives inside this other little kit. Let's move this out of the way, and I'll talk through this awesome dot bag. So this is all my toiletries live in yet another awesome bag from Peak Design. Really, really well thought out. It has kind of a handle stitched into the front. The main compartment here, if you had any other dot kit, a lot of them are just big open compartments. But what I love about this is it's actually this subdivided, like plasticky mesh stuff. So if something leaks out in the plane, it's not going to get everywhere, but you keep all your stuff nice and organized. So I've got a loofah take down here, toothpaste and eye drops, deodorant in here. A little spot for your toothbrush, which is nice. It's kind of magnetized, but super easy to sit in the counter and go through your stuff, and even has this little hook in the back, so you can hang it on stuff really easy and keep it out of the way. Really well thought out. And one more thing that I have to mention, because I'm in love with these things, yet another awesome Matador product. These little Matador toiletry bags are totally awesome. 3 ounces, perfectly designed for TSA. They got a little spot in here where you can write down what's in each one of them. I haven't done that yet because I tend to carry different stuff each time. But if you like to take your own stuff like sunscreen, you don't want to take a huge bottle of it, or you have to limit the size you can take through security, it's perfect for that. Very easy to get stuff in and out. These tops on these just screw off, so you can pour your own stuff in at home and then close it back up, and it's got a little spout there in the front to pull off. Easy to squeeze stuff out. So very cool. And also, I'm not really sure what scenario you'd use this, but these do pop off, so you can clip your toiletries onto stuff and hang it on real easy. But the thing that's so nice about these, and any of these toiletry kits, if you have the typical Walmart style TSA bottles that you pick up that are kind of round, this is the same size. These are 3 ounces each, but these are much easier because they're flat to pack into something like this. And then stow away. So awesome little toiletry kit there from Pete Design. Pete Design just makes some really great stuff. Again, you can find a whole host of this stuff on Huckberry, so definitely check that stuff out. So that's everything that lives in this kind of clamshell main compartment. Let's start going through all these other pockets and everything, which is where the real fun starts happening, because there's all the different ways to prepare for all sorts of different things, but also keep this thing really ultra light on purpose on the way. So let's go through each one of these compartments. So at the bottom, I try to keep this my stay charged up pocket. We'll pull this stuff out here. I do like these giant mesh pockets in this bag because you can always see what stuff is and where it's at. Right off the bat, this charger, this is from Anker. It's one of their new GaN Prime chargers. It's like a new circuit board technology that allows them to pack what used to be a really giant adapter into a much smaller size. So 2 USB-C ports, USB-A port, but this thing goes up to 120 watts. So for my MacBook, which actually lives in this bag too, I'll show you where that's at here in a second, can fully charge that, can fast charge other stuff, can charge just about anything in the small little package. It is a little heavy for what it is. I think they pack all that technology into such a small space. It actually includes this weird suction cup thing too, which you can stick to a wall if you have kind of like a loose charging port at a hotel. But use that for pretty much everything, and then just take a really nice quality USB-C cable that I can use for anything with USB-C, which is nice because most stuff are switching to that now. I have a USB-C to lightning cable for my phone. Looking forward to the new USB-C iPhone, by the way. Then also have a little micro USB cable. So most everything you can charge with those 3 things. I do have another cable elsewhere in the bag I'll show you, but anyway, that's mainly the stuff that lives in here. Of course, you can fit a lot more stuff, but I'm trying to keep this thing light and just with the stuff that I actually need accessible where I need it. So that's that pocket. This pocket right here is kind of my problem-solving pocket. Lots of really interesting stuff over here to go through. So again, if this is carry-on, you're taking this stuff through security, so that limits being able to take, you know, knives and all sorts of tools. And so I try to keep things both light, security-friendly, and super useful. So you're gonna see a lot of things in here. We'll start first with these infinity straps. I actually got these through our BattleBox subscription, which is a really cool way to find some neat stuff. But these have a ton of different purposes. You can use them to lash all sorts of things. If you gotta like attach something else to the outside of your bag, they're handy for that. All you do is curl it around and then take any of these stretchy little loops and just go through the little attachment piece there. So you can make it really small, really big. What I like about this too is you can lash all these together. I have 4 different sizes, small ones and big ones. It's useful for repairs and everything, but you can also kind of make a makeshift clothesline if you need to off the curtain rod in your hotel. So multifunction, really light, just worth having a few of those. I know you got questions about this, we'll come back to that. This is just some nice duct tape. It's actually a lot lighter than it looks, but I think you have several feet of duct tape here. Again, useful for all sorts of repairs. I love this little thing. This is a little TSA friendly tool. Now I know you can get multi-tools that don't have knives and stuff on it that the TSA claims to like, but I typically give my bag search whenever I have those in there. So just having this little thing, this is the Gerber Shard. It's got a little Phillips head on here. You've got flathead screwdrivers. You've got kind of a little scraper tool, a little string cutter, a bottle opener. So lots of the most common things that you would use on the multi-tool you have with you anyway in this little security-friendly package. And also they're really cheap. So if something does get confiscated, this thing was like $6 or $7 I think on Amazon. So not bad at all. Super handy. Flashlight. I love these Rovivon lights. You've seen me cover this in videos in the past if you watch those. But we've got plain flashlight on here in moon mode. We've got all sorts of different lighting levels. Got a strobe thing on there for security purposes. You also have different red light on there if you need a signal or anything. You actually have an ultraviolet light on here, which is useful for checking out gross hotel rooms and everything else. Tons and tons of different options. There's even like a reading light thing on here. I can't remember how to tap and get through all the different modes, but awesome little light. Also glows in the dark. If you're going to take one light with you, take something that's multi-purpose. This Rovivon light is perfect for that sort of thing. Okay, also from Matador, I have one of their pocket blankets on here. Just a super, super handy little thing. Also great for going into theme parks and going on a water ride and want to cover yourself up from getting wet. I'm not going to roll this thing out, but it is like 3 feet by 2 feet or something like that. Perfect for sitting on the ground if you're going to a concert. It weighs just a few ounces. Again, Matador makes really awesome, really tiny stuff. I also have one of their towels. This is, I think, their Nano Dry towel, the small version. Again, this thing folds out to, you know, a foot or two, but totally good for drying off if you get caught in a rainstorm or get gross in the airport from sweat or something you just need to wipe down. Awesome little things to have. This little tool right here is something that you probably haven't seen in any other EDC video. My friend Brent from We Hack People, go check them out on YouTube. He recommended this as one of the best hotel security tools. But basically what this is, you just wrap it around, it's a Velcro strip. You wrap it around your deadbolt in your room and kind of strap it up. And what it does, you can see a little illustration of it here on the back. But what it does is actually secure that deadbolt where you can't possibly turn it to unlock it. So if somebody has a master key or hacks a little key card thing or tries to use it under the door tool, you frankly just can't get in the door. So it just adds an extra little layer of security there. If you're paranoid like me, it's a great thing to have in your bag. Again, it weighs, both of these together are like maybe an ounce or so. I have two of them in here. One if I have like one of the adjoining doors that goes between rooms and stuff, and one for the main door. Awesome little security measure. But anyway, that's all my kind of MacGyver, fix it and come up with some solution stuff that lives in this top pocket. And that's it for this main compartment. So let's go through these other compartments on here. I'm going to zip this back up just for the sake of neatness. So I mentioned my laptop earlier. You're probably wondering where that lives in here. That's another thing I like about this bag. Instead of like the typical kind of top slide down laptop compartment, it's hidden here on the side. You have this long zipper. And although it may not look like a very big entrance and exit, my 16-inch MacBook Pro actually fits in here, no problem. Nice and padded little compartment there. But I like the security of that. It's not something where somebody's gonna walk up and you have this on and try to slip your laptop out of there. So very, very cool. So let's move into the second compartment here, which is the second biggest thing. Not really huge, but a place that you can stuff some stuff in here. I have stuff in here, but I also kind of like to leave it empty because I'm doing something like getting a bottle of water. I use one of these vapor water bottles that are very, very light. Only really takes up space when you have water in it. A lot of times at the airport, I'll fill this thing up and I'll either clip it on, it's got a built-in carabiner, or I'll tuck it inside this compartment and that's where that will live. So I like to leave this empty if I have, or stuff a jacket in this or something. This is a compartment I like to do that with. So we'll go through each of these pockets here and I'll explain kind of what I use these for. This top zip one, I actually just use for travel documents or anything that's important that I need to always tuck it away in a spot. Typically lives here, it's deep and goes the whole way down. And I like that there's just a tiny bit of translucency so you can get a hint of what's in each of these. So that's what I use that one for. This pocket here is kind of my travel pharmacy, lots of different stuff here. I'll try to go through quickly because really there's a ton of stuff back here. But in this pouch, this is medicine and quality of life. So I have a few of these little Colgate Wisps, which are awesome. It's like a little mini one-time use toothbrush. It has a bead on there that has some minty flavoring. But you can scrub your teeth down when you get off the plane. You can use a little toothpick there if you don't want to break out your full toothbrush. It's a nice way to take care of all that stuff. I also have just some drink mixes, some electrolyte mix and stuff. Again, if you're out sweating all day and need to re-energize, that's a good way to do it. I love these zero sugar Kool-Aids. And then most of the other stuff I have in here is just traditional medicine and that sort of thing. I have ibuprofen from home, some anti-nausea medicine, some cough drops, some Sudafed, anti-diarrheal medicine, and then just some different medical packets actually rated from a MyMedic first aid kit. So like Dramamine, antacids, aspirin, just in case somebody's having a heart attack or something, then an antihistamine. So all that stuff kind of packed in here. Again, just leaves in this little Ziploc. And then this is my little triage bag right here. So lots of good stuff tucked away in here. You probably think, okay, I should tuck away some Band-Aids. But because of who I am, I've gone completely overkill and thrown in all sorts of other little things in this section here. So we got triple antibiotic, a little sunscreen packet, some sting relief, another little sting relief thing, two different types there. Burn gel if you get sunburn or actually do burn yourself. Some of these Z-Zips, which are like an awesome butterfly style bandage if you get a pretty deep cut and you need something different on your way to the hospital to keep that cut closed. Awesome little gadget there. Got those in the battle box. For MyMedic, their Band-Aids are like some of the best. Keep a few of those in here. I keep some of their blister stuff, kind of like moleskin. Again, if you're walking around an airport or theme park, you're gonna get blisters on your feet. A little Fresnel magnifying glass, nice to have. And then some bleed stop. Again, I hope to never ever use this type of thing, but as far as a little traveling backpack, TSA-friendly med kit, I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to cram in here and not a lot of space. So that's what lives in that little bag there. And I have just a few other loose items tucked away in here. A mask because of COVID and the world we live in. Who knows when you're gonna need that thing. And then some nitrile gloves. Again, you don't know if you're going to be helping somebody out or a kid throws up or something and you need some way to keep yourself not gross. It's awesome to have that little stuff there. So whether you piece this stuff together or raid some first aid kits, I recommend keeping something like this in a single compartment in your bag. So we'll put that back. Let's check out this other side. This is some other quality of life stuff, just some handy things to have. So I keep a notebook and pen always. Just keep those handy, useful in the airport where you're jotting down stuff and maybe afraid of your phone dying and you don't want to lose that. And this is just a ton of different wipes also live in this pocket. So I've got device wipes for cleaning laptop screens and phones, Wet Ones wipes, which are absolutely awesome. I buy these just in bulk and put them in all my different kits. Again, wiping down airplane seats, cleaning up your hands if you didn't get a chance to wash them. Awesome stuff there. And then an airport shower. Here's some awesome options here. I love these Clean Freak body wipes. These are great for at the end of the day at the theme park, wiping all the sunscreen off, or you've been stuck in the airport all day and just want to feel fresh. You can wipe from head to toe with these sort of things. This is another take on those. These are from Surviveware. I found these on Amazon. They're a little bit cheaper than the Clean Freak ones and seem to work just as well. By the way, these are huge. These are like 12 by 12 style wipes. They claim to be biodegradable. I wouldn't flush them or anything, but awesome for cleaning up. Don't leave a residue. But all that stuff lives in that pocket right there. So this little pouch, a lot of this is just like self-care. Make sure you're feeling good, feeling fresh, and ready to go when you get to where you land. So we'll put all that stuff back and go through this final compartment. All right, so let's get that packed away. And this last compartment on the outside, it's nice because it's kind of side accessible too. So you can kind of pull this to your front and unzip this and get to it. But this is where I keep just like grab and go style stuff here. So you see from the trip I was just on, peanut M&Ms, always keep those as kind of my go-to airport snack. Sunglasses up here, and then just some gums. This is kind of like a tuck and go pocket. Don't really keep just the empty open space inside. Don't keep that all that organized. But there are two different little compartments there in the front that have specific use cases for. So the bottom one, if I'm taking a passport or some things like that I want to keep zipped up, I tend to put that in this pocket down here, and also keep loose change and stuff in there right now if I'm not using that for other stuff. By the way, there is like a little key fob thing here if you want to attach your keys to that. I never really use those. But this top pocket right here actually does keep stuff that I tend to use on the plane. So when I'm sitting down, I'm getting kind of filed away in my seat there before the flight takes off and getting everything else stowed. These are the items I tend to take out, and that is typically just headphones, chargers, and then my Kindle, which I forgot to take out of that main compartment there. So those are the things I actually put in the seat back area in front of me. So Kindles are totally awesome. Again, I'm actually a paper book kind of guy, but being able to take all my stuff with me in one really light thing. The batteries on this last like 2 months, so you don't even have to worry about charging it on the trip. But pretty great. So whatever I'm reading kind of lives there, and it's backlit and everything too. So as the light changes on the plane itself, it's great to have that stuff and keep all that stuff condensed in one place. Headphones, man, lots of different opinion on travel headphones. I know people love the over-ear stuff, but the second generation AirPods Pros are just good enough to make me ditch my other headphones. So I used to take these Bose Quiet Comfort 2s, totally awesome, classic noise canceling headphones, over ear. They sound great, man, they really cancel out 90% of the noise in the plane. But what I've found is this new generation of AirPod Pros, these things really cancel about 80% of that noise. So only about a 10% difference I noticed, and they save a absolute ton of room. So really, really great. Again, the noise canceling is a lot better than the previous generation of these, by the way. So if you have the first gen, it's definitely worth checking out the second gen. And they also have Find My built in too, so it's a good way, even though I have an AirTag in this bag too, kind of tucked away. These are good to have for security purposes too, in case your bag gets stolen. You can track it with your AirPods. A little charger. This is more than enough for me. It's a little MagSafe charger from Anchor. So you can pop this on the back of your phone and charge generally from about 20% all the way back to full is about what I get out of this. It also has a USB-C port here in the bottom, which is great if you need a wire into something. You can charge a number of things with this. I opted not to get the biggest one because when I'm traveling, you know, honestly, I can just plug my phone into the side of my laptop and get all the juice I need. But what I really love about this is very slim, so I can still put my phone in my pocket, but it also serves as an awesome little stand. When you're on the airplane, your iPhone can magnetically hook onto that, and then you have a little stand for your tray table to watch a movie. So super handy, really cool little gadget there. And then if you need to plug anything into this and don't want to get out all your big cables, this in-charge cable here has all sorts of different options on it, USB-A, USB-C, and then you can pull out both ends here, and you have basically any charging combination you want, from USB-C to C, A to C, C or A to Lightning, and then even the Lightning thing has a little mini USB thing on there, so I can plug this in in conjunction with this battery pack and charge just about everything that I need to. Really, really handy. I did lose the cap, but I was able to 3D print a new one, which I think is pretty cool. So super handy little cable to have thrown in that little pocket there. And then last but not least, you've noticed this here on the outside, but if you've watched this channel for a while, you know how much I love hero clips. So not only does this serve double duty as just a great little carabiner to hook stuff to the bag if need be, but if you're at the airport for a while or at a restaurant or something where you need to hang your bag off some stuff, these are just really, really great for basically adding that capability. So you can just hang it off the edge of a table, clip your bag onto here. This thing holds like 60 pounds, I think. Really handy. Also really awesome for airport bathrooms if they don't have a hook. Again, you don't want your bag getting nasty on the floor, but hero clips are awesome, really inexpensive, and a great little gadget just to keep handy. Like I mentioned, I just keep this on the outside of the bag and it's there right when I need it. And that is all the stuff I carry in this bag. Again, I know I mentioned a ton of stuff, but all this all together, even with my laptop in here, only weighs maybe 10 to 12 pounds depending on the amount of clothes I take. So I think this is a really sustainable travel setup, and it's something that's been really effective for me. All right, so that's the travel system that I've been using all summer long. I want to know, what do you guys think? Did I figure things out? Do I have some good ideas? Am I missing stuff entirely? Jump in the comments below and let me know, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. And also, if you saw any gear or gadgets in this video that you want to add to your own kit, be sure to check out the description below. I've tried to shop around online and find the cheapest prices I can for you, so I hope that helps out. That about does it for this video. As always, if you dug the video, be sure to hit the like button because it helps the channel out a ton, and subscribe if you want to see more cool EDC gear and stuff like this down the line. We'll see you next time.